Hi, I'm estate planning attorney Michael Redden, and today we're going to talk about whether or not you need to update your estate plan just because you sell or buy a house. And before we get into that, if you have any questions about this topic after the video, or if you'd like to set up a time to plan with me, you can get a free meeting either over the phone or in person by going to setestatemeeting.com. That's setestatemeeting.com. All right, so do you need to update your estate plan just because you sold or bought a house? Well, this is going to really depend on your circumstances, right? If you're a married person, maybe you hold that house jointly. You really need to know how the house is titled. If you hold it jointly, then when you pass away, it's automatically going to go to your spouse. If you don't hold it jointly, then you're going to need to do something about it in your estate plan, whether that is put a transfer on death deed in there or update your will or update your trust, right? If you don't want it to go to your spouse and you've put your property in there jointly, because that kind of is the default when title companies transfer property, is they're going to put it jointly with both spouses. If that's not what you want, you're going to have to update it too. So you need to know what you want, and you need to know how that property was actually titled. If you're a single person, you're almost always going to need to update your estate plan in some way, right? If that new property isn't going to the same place that you wanted in your will, you need to update your will. If it's not spoken about in your will because your previous house had a transfer on death deed to make it have a beneficiary on it, then you're going to have to update that and either put a new transfer on death deed or think about where you want it to go and update your will accordingly. But basically it comes down to, do you know how that's going to go in your estate plan after you've bought and sold a house? It is different for each couple. Most couples have it going jointly. Most individuals have spoken about their house in their will. And if this is not the house that you live in, then there's a lot bigger chance that you're going to have to talk about where it's going to go. If it's a rental house, if it's a cabin or something like that, buying and selling that means that you probably are going to have to update your will. Not everybody, but you probably will whether you're married or not. It's knowing what it is, how it's going to transfer, meaning did I put a beneficiary on it or not, and is it spoken about in my will, and does it still go where I want it to go? So anytime you make a purchase like that, it's probably worth at least looking at your estate plan, maybe shooting off an email or something to your estate planning attorney and saying, hey, I bought and sold my house, or I got another rental property and things. Do I need to update my estate plan? And just having that discussion. Because just because it's set one way for one house doesn't mean it's going to automatically go the same way when you get a replacement house. Usually for the personal residence, most estate plans are going to go the same way. But definitely when it's not the personal residence, you definitely need to look into that. So review your estate plan if you bought or sold a house. Do you know where this new home is going to go? If you have questions, reach out to the person who did your will or reach out to me and I'll help you out. But that's basically what you got to know about. And that answers the question of, do I need to update my estate plan when I buy or sell a house? If you got further questions about this or you'd like to plan with me, set up a free meeting with me in person or over the phone by going to setestatemeeting.com. That's setestatemeeting.com.